layer turned on. I'm going to turn off my zip codes just for clarity's sake. I'll leave the states on just for a backdrop view. As you've already done, and you've gone in and taken your counties, accessed our demographic data, and you've color-coded your map by population. So I'm just going to let go what I've got here. I'll make it a little bit lighter, I think. So here's just a basic population scheme theme on the map. Now, there's a whole bunch of controls within map and data that allows you to access demographic data and control the look and feel of your map. And so I'm going to hover over that layer and click the Edit Map Properties button.
Before we go on, how did you get the map and data? Because your screen there looked a little different than mine.
So
when I was there.
Map and data is here. It's this blue box. If it's closed,
but how did you get it?
It's right there.
If it's closed, where are you?
So you'll see. Let me just expand this a little bit so you can see it. So if it's closed, that's that little arrow right there.
Oh, yeah, I got into map and data from up above, when right next to the big X up there on the top bar.
Right up here. Oh yeah, you used this to color code the map. That's another way to do it. Yeah, there's multiple ways to access things. But what we're going to do is we want to access labeling. So I'm going to, first of all, click that little edit gear. I'm going to do that again. So that little edit gear pops up when I hover over counties or zip codes or states. And I click it under the county layer. And down below, you can see I've got this show auto labels. And the auto labels are the county labels. And they're showing at a state level. The levels are evidenced over here in the zoom bar. And right now we're at the state level. So I'm going to just change when those show up and say I want them to show up. If I was zoomed all the way out, I still want to see the counties. So all I did was drop down and select world level. You can select any of these and it'll improve your county label, visibility right off the bat. So that's one thing.
Okay.
But then we're going to go up here, and again, we're in labels. We're going to go up to format labels. And what we call auto label is any of like the county layer labels, the zip code, the state, that's an auto label. A custom label is when you hover over one of those objects and a label pops up. But we want to format the auto label. So I'm going to go in to number 1. I'm going to drop down to demographic data, and I'm going to go down and find, whatever it might be that's the most pertinent information. And there's a lot, as you saw before, there's a lot in here. Median household income. You can find ethnicity. You can find all sorts of stuff in here. So you had mentioned households. So we've got households income here. I think I've got another section with ages.
Number of households.
Yeah, there is
numbers at the top.
There is a number of households in here.
Yeah.
I just want to find it.
I think go way to the top. Go all the way to the top.
Households. Here we are. There's income. Number of households.
It'll be there. There you go.
And you can put a little bit of text in here. So we can say median income dash, and here we can say number households dash. And you've got 5 flexible fields, so you could continue on. And then we click change label. And now each county has got that information sorted in there. You can kind of adjust the labels if you want to.
Wow.
You can
I don't have to do it county by county is what you're saying.
Right. And so you've got that,
okay.
And you can adjust the shadow. You can make it italic or not. You can change the color. So you've got a lot of different functions. Maybe I got to do it down here. Sorry. You got a lot of different functions you can turn off and on here and adjust that look and feel. The other thing you could do is think about the size. Like maybe you need to have it small. It's just referential for your own internal use, or is it for outside use? And a couple things I'll note that, you know, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island, you probably have to zoom in a little bit to see those counties and get that data on there because the map will accommodate that. You could also take the county layer and adjust under general, as opposed to labels, under general, you adjust transparencies, look and feel of the lines. So now you're starting to see the road network come up behind all that stuff. And it just makes it a little bit more, you can make it pop better. Make the counties black, boundaried. So, you know, and the other thing to think about is your legend, which is up in the upper left there. So I'm going to just, I zoomed in, I didn't mean to do that. So I'm going to click off my little zoom tool. That legend is entirely editable. Now, the first thing I'm going to show you with the legend is I'm going to make it go away. So I clicked it close. Where is my legend? If you go back to map and data, you'll see there's a little edit gear at the top. You open that edit gear, and right down here you've got edit legend. We're going to click show map legend, and when we update it, the legend comes back. And now you can make this legend work for you by, maybe you don't want to have the copy of your data layer or whatever it is on there, so you can update that so that goes away. You can decide, I don't need to say that I've got states turned on in the legend. They can see them on the map. And then you can even take the county layer and you can say, well, I can consolidate these two labels. And I can, that's a Skype issue that we've been having the last couple of days here. That's not even to do with this particular thing. Anyway, so I'm just going to get that out of the way, and we're going to paste that up here and update the legend. So the legend is updatable, it's movable, it's just another way that you can communicate with your map. So we've added demographic data to your labels. You can do that to the state, you can do it to the zip code. We've made the counties transparent, we've made their borders black, and we've adjusted the legend. There's the zip codes now. And in the zip code layer, we can make sure that that's transparent. We can undo the fill and look more at our county scheme. So other questions that you might have at this point in time?
No, I think that was a good primer.
All right, good.
That will help. Eventually, I would probably, now, can I print out an individual county if I blow it up?
You certainly can. I mean, yeah, you want to take a look at the print functionality? We can do that.
Maybe I can't do it now because I'm just, yeah.
So let's, I mean, if you go into any area, you can always print. So you've got the print button up here. So let's just assume we want to print, I'm going to zoom in. Let's say we want to print like this area here. So you zoom in to where you want it to happen, get your map the way you like it, click the print button, and up here at the top is where if you want to just print to your desktop printer, you're going to choose that top option. The bottom option, and that's pretty straightforward. That's just printing to your desktop, and it's going to render the map. It doesn't take very long. You're going to work with 8.5 by 11 paper, or maybe some other standard file paper format. Keep in mind that landscape is generally how the application is set up, so you want to have your printer set up to print landscape. Once you press print, it's going to go over to your printer controls. But if we go back, down below you can save as a PDF, make a large format print to bring to a plotter if you want. That's a little bit more involved and it requires some experimentation, but that's there if you want it. You can also, up here, you can save as a JPEG image or as a PNG. So those would be image files that you could send in an email or put on a website. Make sense?
Okay. I've already saved a couple of those.
Good.
Because I couldn't tell where yours was going when it says, you want to save it, and I said yes, and I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
So I saved it in my own file, and then I went back, and that's when I ran into, hey, one of these popped up over here, and I see one, but I don't see the other one, and so they kept trying to replace, and that brought me to the phone call here.
Okay. Well, that's basically.
There's a lot here, isn't there?
There is. I mean, and that map and data box contains a lot of controls over look and feel. So.
And eventually, as I progress on this, I'm probably going to take and maybe even put in individual street addresses of properties that I have purchased.
Sure. You're absolutely able to do that by importing data. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Good program.
Good. Great. I'm glad we could help. Let us know if we can help again.
Yeah. Now, are you going to email that recording to me?
I am. I'm going to send you a link.
Oh, beautiful.
All right.
All right. I'll go back to it.
Thanks.
We won't do it till tomorrow morning. That's when I'm back on this again.
Well, you better give me your email address.
R. Kemp. My first initial, last name.
I got it from yesterday. Yep.
At rockcliffe.com.
Yep. All right. Great.
Good.
Thank you, sir.
And I looked through what you did. Was it you I was talking to when you sent me the links before?
Yes, sir.
I went through two of them this morning. So.
Okay.
But this is much more what I need.
All right. Good. Well, you can take the rest of the day off.
Super.
Okay.
No, I can't.
Okay.
I have to switch gears.
All right.
All right.
Take care.
Thanks, Jeff.
Bye-bye.
Bye.